See, the problem that I see with Bitcoin, though, is that it's not backed up by anything. It's not like you can have, physical, gold that you can hold in your hand, to back it up. And the way I see it is what we should have is, like you said, competing currencies. So I'm not against Bitcoin for that reason. I think we should just, legalize, gold and silver backed competing currencies and have them all compete against each other and see what's better.
Well, I'll tell you why cryptocurrency is better then is because it's backed by the encryption itself. It's backed by its ability to be a global ledger, and therefore it has an advantage over gold and silver or any commodity-backed currency because you don't have to take that commodity out of circulation. Like, it exists independently as a monetary ledger. I mean, to think of a Bitcoin in a way isn't as much a unit of money. It's a monetary ledger that everyone can see that is like globally accessible. That's the definition with the blockchain. But the advantage is, like, when you have a gold-backed currency, you have to take gold that could be used for jewelry or industrial purposes and take it out of usage and say, no, we are now using this as money, and it's inefficient in that sense. It costs the economy a lot more to create the functional ledger. That's one of the brilliant advantages of Bitcoin, is that it literally costs nothing other than the computing power and the electricity to run the computers to launch it into existence.
Well, I think what he's saying is that it doesn't have inherent value. It's not a store of value. Gold and silver are a store of value. Bitcoin is.
Yeah, I disagree.
Just like.
Yeah, but in a sense, the numbers themselves, because they're encrypted, because they have value as simply a means of transmission of value or transmitting numbers, have value inherent in that.
Well, I mean, I agree with it. Bitcoin is a very positive thing. I mean, we need to have competing currencies, but I do understand that Bitcoin isn't actually backed by gold. It's not backed by anything. It is, it's a fiat currency. It's still a fiat currency.
No, because it's voluntary. It's let's see. Hold on. This is a really important concept, and it took like don't get me. This is like everything else in libertarianism. No. You're not wrong. You just haven't figured this out yet. Let me just help you out. With this. There is inherent value, like U.S. dollars, right? Mm-hmm. Like if we had them in this room, like, we would still acknowledge that they're of value.
Them for trade, but they have no value.
Well, no. Let's hold on. The value, like we said earlier, the real value of the backing of the dollar is the violence of government, right? The promise that they will steal these from people, they will demand them in taxes, right?
Forced to use
but hold on. Let's say that all of the government mechanisms of money went away overnight, right? And all of a sudden, all of these paper bills were essentially worthless. They were just paper bills. Guess what? They still have value as paper.
Kindling.
They still have value as paper with numbers on them. For warmth, right? No. But hold on. I want to make a really specific parallel to Bitcoin here, right? Like, does monopoly money have value?
As much value as a dollar bill, essentially. I mean,
it does if you're playing Monopoly, right? I mean, if you're playing Monopoly, you're sitting around playing Monopoly, and you go, hey, I've got this pile of bills that is part of our game system, and someone comes and steals all of your little pieces of paper. You wouldn't be like, oh, it's okay. It's Monopoly money. It doesn't have value. They can steal it. No, it obviously has value because it allows you to play the game. It allows you to have a functional mechanism of transmission. Now, you write that large with Bitcoin, and it's global, and it's something that the more people buy into, the more value it gets because of the more demand there is for it, and it's perfectly encrypted, so there's no way to create more, and you still have it. But it's the core concept of the value is in its ability to serve as a safe
currency.
Numerical
system. It's divisible.
Exactly.
And I am a supporter of Bitcoin. I don't invest in it personally, but I do support the concept of it.
Why not?
Because
Jeffrey wants to know.
You want to know what?
Why not? $20 worth.
I mean, I think $20 worth can't hurt. I invest in precious metals.
Awesome.
But
do it.
And I choked on a Monopoly thimble once. Almost.
Mile?
Well, what I think is, I think you're right in what you're saying, but I still think, it's backed up by something. I didn't mean it's not backed up by anything per se, but just backed up by encryption is not the same as backed up by something you can physically hold to help, now in check that. Now you have something that you
it's different.
Hold. That's what I think.
But I would make the case that that's an advantage, that gives the money an advantage in the market. Now, you can disagree, This is like the least important debate for libertarians, right? It's sort of like, all right, well, hey, when the government doesn't require that all of your clothes are black all the time, what color clothes are you going to buy? No, I'm going to buy red clothes. No, I'm going to buy blue clothes. Well, fuck you. Like you're going to put in the vote for a gold-backed form of crypto. Mile, I assume that you're on board that a commodity or gold-backed currency should have some of the features of Bitcoin in terms of digital transmission and encryption, right?
Well, I think digital currency backed up by gold would be great. But what I see, what you described, it's good. But what I meant is that they're both backed up by something, and the disadvantage is you have to go and get the physical gold. But what you could have is you could have digital gold if you were to have gold competing currency.
Yeah.
Where you could have it encrypted and it being, digital, the gold online, or you can sell and buy it digitally.
Well, let the competition begin. My money's on Bitcoin. But as soon as we see it, and by the way, we should have said this earlier about buying Bitcoin, is that I still believe that even if you want that to be your primary investment, that as long as it's in the volatile stage that it is, owning some kind of physical commodity for yourself, not in an encrypted form. I mean, you got to have like a few $100 even of physical silver as a backup, or a pile of ammo or food or some kind of similar commodity. But
It's best
no,
to not have all your eggs in one basket.
yeah. But long term, no, none of that's gonna matter. We're all getting beamed up into the cloud. Mile, thanks so much for the call, man.
Okay, thank you.
CNBC has staked out its position now as an enemy of the Bitcoin. The address has changed several times, and I'll do my best to keep the link to your current
Shire Silver's products, Bitcoin, all these different alternative currencies are for sale.